Welcome to the second FBN Capital Ltd. Ideals you can depend on. Ideas you can thrive on.
We're an institution founded on very, very strong foundations of ideals. We're also an institution that spends as much of its time as possible trying to learn and develop to know how we can do things better and service our clients even better.
This year's event is really taking place, in my view, at a most auspicious time, because it's taking place at a time when Nigeria's economy continues to surge forward with a 6.5% annual GDP growth, at a time when many economies of the world are in deep recession.
FBN Capital Ltd. Ideals you can depend on. Ideas you can thrive on.
The question for us in Nigeria, which is the basis of this speech, is how this emerging power shift can be harnessed to address our peculiar but pressing developmental challenges, especially our need for foreign direct investment and the trade in non-oil business. It is therefore pertinent for us to assess our risks and opportunities that lie ahead of our country in these unfolding scenarios. Our focus will be on, amongst others, the following developmental imperatives of the Nigerian economy. 1, the need for Nigeria to quickly understand how the growth markets are reshaping the international. For us in Nigeria, which is the basis of this speech, is how this emerging power shift can be harnessed to address our peculiar but pressing developmental challenges, especially our need for foreign direct investment and the trade in non-oil business. It is therefore pertinent for us to assess our risks and opportunities that lie ahead of our country in these unfolding scenarios. Our focus will be on, amongst others, the following developmental imperatives of the Nigerian economy. 1, the need for Nigeria to quickly understand how the growth markets are reshaping the international development agenda and finding a way of taking full advantage, including the models that Nigeria can adopt to move beyond primary production and exports towards achieving structural diversification, employment generation, improved standards of living, equity, and macroeconomic stability by leveraging on the potential opportunities in the growth markets.
The African corporations that can compete globally and that meet all the corporate governance standards. I just wanted to say something about the insider trading. I'm dying to bring one. So we think that we need everybody's help. Insider trading cases are not easy to prove. So we need whistleblowers. You'll be anonymous, obviously. We've created a surveillance department that is very active, that is watching what people are doing. And we're rewriting the rules to make sure that you have very clear, bright lines as to what constitutes insider trading and what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, the dark periods and things like that. So it takes not just the regulators but everybody working together to make these cases happen.
I kind of decided to stay on, and stay in there. I borrowed money at about 20% from 24%. Construction cost was too high. Everything I went through was just a nightmare, in short. At the end of the day, but one thing that is extremely, and we're still going through it, one thing that is extremely great about Nigeria is that the market is there in the first place. The market is there and the market is extremely huge. You know, today we built a mall in Enugu. When I was going to Enugu also, people said, what's going on in Enugu? Is there anything in Enugu? I say, of course, there are human beings that live there. Today, Enugu is now the third best shop for ShopRite right now. You know, in Lagos they do about, in Ikeja they do about I can freely tell you they have accounts 120 million a week, or a month. And in Palms they do about 90 million naira a month, and in Enugu they do about 75 million. They themselves cannot believe it. But yet, all this cannot be sustainable if we don't find a way to make real estate development easier to do, in my own opinion. The challenges are too much. It starts from banks, from construction, like she has said, and also there's no exit, in my own opinion, clear for even the developer, you know, and that's why I brought Mike, that he has experience with Actis, Standard Bank, and he's worked in South Africa. Is that in South Africa, in cases, or in America, you can be a developer, you could develop, you know, and you could, I hate using the word, flip it, or you could sell it, you know, to somebody and make your profit, and it goes on, you know. But in Nigeria, you can't, you can't even, there's no real market for it.
People often talk about coming into Nigeria and the issues, the challenges and all that. But people never talk about the opportunities. And for us, we started, I mean, I will speak for Olam now. Olam came into Nigeria in 1989 and started as a trading company, trading in commodities, cocoa, cashew, sesame, ginger, cotton, and the likes. And since 1989, we have, well, technically become a very large behemoth. We have invested a lot in the agricultural value chain space. And just last week, I was telling you offset that Olam Nigeria won the Best Exporter Award. And that is, we are the second largest exporter after oil and gas in Nigeria. So after oil and gas in Nigeria, we are the largest exporter out of Nigeria. That is no mean feat. And we've been here since 1989, and like I always tell people who care to listen, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon, the long haul, and we'll be here for a long time to come.
FBN Capital Ltd. Ideals you can depend on. Ideas you can thrive on.